So after that, unfortunately, to be honest again, my interest in French Road declined again. Um, but Big had got something going, so he's still doing good. Um, he started coming. So let me get this story right. So by '92,
Mm-hmm.
right, shortly after Demetrius got killed, I went down to Florida for a minute, and then I moved back to New York because Pops now he didn't got home.
Okay.
Um, he started messing with the Nigerians,
Okay.
but we ain't doing no business with Big. I mean, we still cool, and in fact, he had started coming to New York, and I would end up introducing him to some of the Dominicans he ended up doing business with. Kid Cuba up there on 106 in Columbus. Um, Big Ed, not Big Ed Hansen from Detroit, but our Big Ed from New York, who we got tied in through Money Walt and those kids up at Columbia. Shout out to Big J Welch too. So Big is now this 92, 93. We doing our thing with the Nigerians. Big coming to New York, getting his bag.
Mm-hmm.
Him and the big homie still doing a little business. So French Road just it's doing good, but it ain't doing like it was doing with Demetrius.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of content because we got our Nigerian thing kind of going. Money starting to get back, kind of flowing good, and I'm back in New York. I'm happy. Then summer '92, my grandmother gets a phone call from a funny talking guy
Yeah.
from Pakistan.
Yeah.
Those who've not heard the story of the Pakistani plug, basically a guy named Muhammad from Pakistan, that my old man that did time with at Milan. In the summer of 1992, we was doing some business with the Iranian guy. They had smuggled in 10 keys of pure Lebanese product. The Iranian ended up catching a case. Muhammad is spooked because they're in Chicago doing their thing. At this point, him and the old man have not been in contact.
Mm-hmm.
But when Muhammad's man get popped, Muhammad gets spooked. He remembers he's got a friend in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
He catches the train to Detroit, calls the old man. They meet. He explained to Pops that, look, my friend just got arrested. Muhammad tells the old man, I do not believe that my man has turned over, that he's cooperating. I think it's still solid. He's like, but I ain't taking no chances. I'm going back to Canada, then I'm going back to Pakistan. He said, we got 10 of them things untouched at this apartment in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get them, we'll split it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say at 100,000 a thing, it's $1 million wholesale. Once you put the hookup on it, you're probably talking about 6-7 million. Oh man, like thinks about it for a couple days, puts together, long story short, puts together a crew. They go camp out in Chicago for 2 days, do some counter surveillance. Doesn't look hot. He sends the crew. Donald, God rest his soul. John the Baptist, God rest his soul. Daryl T. Walker, that whole crew, God, the time has passed. I think everybody on that mission except for the old man has passed.
That's right.
Except there's a white guy that was actually with him. That was a friend of Donald. I don't know what happened with him. But anyway, they go get the bag, get back to Detroit safely. It is what was promised. And that was in 92. From 92 to 97, the old man would pretty much have his way with the town. You know, we could have made so much more, but we'd have got hot, and that was the old man was west. Because in the end, really, Fam C,
Yeah.
he would deal with. Fat Frank did a lot of the heavy lifting.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other real close family friends, but he never put it out there because he was eating good. I mean, shit. This before French Road has the bag now.
Oh.
So this is 92. Eddie still, in fact, once the Pakistani thing got going, very often in 92 and 93, Eddie would be in New York doing his girl business, and the old man would be in New York, and we'd all link up. The old man liked to stay at the Marquis Marriott, and we'd link up. But we're not doing business. On French Road is doing whatever it's doing, with Eddie running it. We're doing what we're doing. Now, I am telling Eddie, I say, but he on a different mission. I'm telling Eddie, I say, man, you really need to fuck with us. We got the bag is right. And he's like, yeah, but you know, I'm a junior, I'm doing this, that. And it was all good, it was all love, but we was really, to be honest, on two different tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So everything going good. The people I introduced Eddie through, he done built a relationship with him. He's doing his thing. Him and 50 come out to New York. This is about 93.
Okay.
Because things are going so good with our thing. The old man didn't set me up. I opened up a store up on 125th Street, right? I'm poor man's Puffy. You know, I'm getting a $20,000 month allowance. Kind of orchestrating some of the stuff with Muhammad's people, the logistics of it all, and the money. That was when they had the Muhammad's people had the money laundering operation down there in the fabric district.
Right.
You know, the man told me after I came short with the payment that those were internal problems. He wished that I had a good time. Whatever made the bag short, he hoped I enjoyed myself.
Right.
But so Big, as you've heard the story, Big at 50 come to New York. I just had foot surgery because the people he was dealing with, I was the conduit to them. So I would go with Big. Big always teased me, be like, Junior, you scared? You thought they was... I was like, nigga, we done walked into these Dominican wholesale Yale spot, unannounced. You know, they got 100 bricks or something. He done bribed one of them to get us to the spot through my people, Cuba and them. And they doing Santa Maria, talking about they got to talk to the spirits to find out if we the police or not. And I'm like, yeah, I'm scared because there's a 50% chance, Mr. Jack. I'll never forget telling that first move with the Dominicans. I was like, Eddie, if I die here, I'm going to kill you when we get to hell or heaven. This shit you got me involved in. Anyway, the shit went well. We passed the Santa Maria test. They discovered after talking to the spirits and the cardinals, the candles and the playing cards, that we were not the police, that we were good guys. But they told Big, the guys Crazy and Pablo who ran the joint, they told Big, they say, it looked like it's a lot of money and everybody eating good, but if we ain't here, don't do the business, because they had a spot on 127th and Lenox. That's where they ran their show out of. So Big come to town this one time. I had just had foot surgery. Him and 50 go to do their normal deal. But I guess when they got there, Big, Pablo or Crazy wasn't there. And Big, Eddie gonna decide, when I say Big, I'm talking about Eddie, we call him Mr. Big. Cartoon character, long story. Anyway, you remember Mr. Big from
Flash? I already know.
Yeah,
the little big hat.
But
the little man with the big hat.
Had to sing out Mr. Big.
Right.
That's some Jimmy shit there too. So we started calling him Big. So Big doesn't follow Pablo and Crazy's instructions, and he decides to do business with one of their underlings. They play a small game anyway. When Big leaves the spot with the brick or half brick, whatever he had, boom, it's a stick up, it's a robbery move. He was wise enough to just let the bag go, get the fuck on. So he's kind of fucked up now. I'll never forget, because it was like 3 hours had passed. I was waiting for them to get back to my place in Brooklyn. And my guy LB, shout out LB. If anybody knows where the hell Lamont Bridges is at, a.k.a. LB from New York. LB, holla at you, man. What in the world is going on? St. Louis, Missouri. Reach out to the Bridges family and find Lamont Bridges for me and tell him to holler at his man. That is my guy. I mean, that is my guy for real, for real. Anyway, LB like, damn, man, they've been gone. They usually don't take your team that long to do this. And I remember telling LB, I was like, bro, it's been 3 hours. I just hope I see my friends again. Because I knew something terribly bad had happened.
Absolutely.
The only question was how bad was what happened. Because in New York, it don't take 3 hours to do nothing. like that. Big and them show about 3 hours later. They all pissed off, fucked up. They tell me the whole rundown of the story I just told you about how it went down. He went back up to another Dominican spot. I think somehow all the money hadn't. Anyway, but now his money, his bankroll, a little shaky. So I guess he gets back to Detroit, and he like, damn, Berman and Junior been telling me that they work in a good bag. He cut into the old man, was like, let me see what you're talking about, Berman. Of course, Pop like, whatever you want, you can get, boy. So Pop, and you know, I think Eddie and the old man start off, maybe he gave them 10 bundles. They would grow it to 1,000 bundles a day business. I mean, once that bag, you know, Pop was putting 0.5 gram in each pack of the bundles. So basically, and it was better quality than 90% of the stuff on the street. So he was basically giving out $50, $60 worth of dope for $10. He did all the packaging, and just him and Big, and they just split it. So when that bag hit, when that Pakistani thing hit French Road, that was French Road at its best.
It's over.
You know, 5,000 started off. They did 10,000, I think. According to, I think they may have maxed out around some days 50,000. It was crazy. I know this because I'm still back and forth from New York because we ended up buying the Cotillion Club a year later. So it was the glory days. It was truly the Kingpin's last stand for the old man. They were letting the city have it. It was just time to really tell a great untold Detroit story because it kind of covers Detroit at its zenith. Very interesting story. We decided that we were going to make a movie.
All right, Rich Rossi with you with Motown Mafia. I'm with Courtney.
Louis Stevens,
Courtney Brown.
Courtney Brown Jr.
And Alan Al Prophet Bradley.
And this is an entrepreneurial, inspirational story too, because again, you know, I'm a real estate retail guy. You know, that's what my skill set is. But I'm a businessman, so I was like, you know, we're gonna do it. You know, sometimes when you got a dream, you won't have all the answers on how you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
What made this one unique was not so much the crime, but the intertwining with Detroit's history and the Motown era and kind of the economic decline of Detroit. And it's really the story of a family. And from some perspectives, has a happy ending, like you said. For others, it didn't have a happy ending.
Right.